Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something truly unique. It's ancient wisdom, but seen through a really personal lens. A father's guidance to his son.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the Bhagavad himself advising his son, Rahula. It's all captured in the Rāhulasutta.
That's right.
And our focus specifically is on verses 335 through 342. These really offer some, well, essential insights into living a life free from suffering.
Yeah, and our goal for this deep dive really is to go beyond just the history. We want to reveal the timeless, practical blueprint these teachings offer for anyone, really, seeking genuine inner peace and clarity today.
Right.
What's so striking is just how universal these principles still feel, how relevant they are even millennia later.
Absolutely. And what hits you immediately in these opening verses is just how personal this conversation is. I mean, can you imagine being Rahula, the son of such an enlightened teacher?
Quite something to picture.
And the Bhagavad just engages him directly, asking, do you not despise a wise person, a lamp bearer for humanity, through constant association?
A powerful question to start with.
And Rahula's response is immediate, it's reverent.
Yeah.
I do not despise a wise person, I always revere him. That exchange, it just sets the stage perfectly, shows Rahula's openness, his readiness to learn.
It really does. And if we step back a little, the very next verse, it lays out the ultimate mission, the whole point of this spiritual journey.
Okay.
The Bhagavad tells Rahula, having abandoned the 5 strands of sensual pleasure, delightful and charming, gone forth from home with faith, be an ender of suffering.
Wow. Be ender of suffering. That's quite a goal.
It is. And what's truly radical here isn't just the physical act of leaving home. It's a complete internal shift, a sort of mental exodus, you could say, from the desires that bind us.
Those 5 strands, that sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, the things we chase.
Exactly. Those enticing experiences. So it's this deep declaration of intent to end suffering, not just, cope with it.
Okay, so with that huge goal established, ending suffering, the Bhagavad then gets practical. He starts laying out steps for his son, beginning with how to handle his external world.
Foundations.
He advises him to associate with good friends, first off, and also to seek out secluded, quiet sleeping and sitting places. Makes sense.
Environment matters.
Right. And there's clear instruction on moderation, too. Be moderate in food.
Basic discipline, but essential.
But it goes deeper than just the basics.
Yeah.
There's a really critical piece of advice about detachment, even from necessities, like robes and food. He says, do not make craving for robes, alms, food, and dwellings.
Yes.
Do not come to the world again. That last part is powerful.
It absolutely is. It connects present actions, present craving, directly to future states, implying that this very craving is what fuels the cycle of rebirth, keeps us coming back.
So it's not just about being comfortable now, it's about future liberation.
Precisely. It's about understanding the consequences of attachment.
Yeah.
So moving from those, let's call them external disciplines, the Bhagavad then guides Rahula towards cultivating, an inner discipline.
The internal work.
Exactly. He tells him to be restrained with regard to the Padamokha.
Which is the monastic code, right? The rule.
Yes, a foundational code of conduct. Covers everything from big moral precepts to daily interactions. Very comprehensive.
Okay.
And restrained also regarding the 5 senses. Constant vigilance there.
And crucially.
And crucially, yes. Let mindfulness directed to the body be present in you.
Mindfulness of the body. That sounds key.
It is. This isn't just about being present in some vague way. It's about physically anchoring your awareness, almost like setting a mental alarm clock, something that goes off whenever your mind tries to drift into distraction or rumination.
That level of sensory restraint, that deep body mindfulness, it sounds incredibly demanding. Especially thinking about our modern lives, just constant input.
It is demanding, no question.
And isn't there a risk that mindfulness just becomes another task, another thing to check off or even feel bad about if we don't do it right?
That's a really excellent point. It can easily become superficial.
So how do these texts guide us beyond that?
Well, the text goes deeper. It advises Rahula to be abundant in disenchantment.
Disenchantment. That word can sound negative, maybe cynical.
It can, but that's not the meaning here at all. It's not about being jaded. It's more like a profound awakening, seeing things clearly.
Okay.
It's realizing the impermanence, the inherent unsatisfactoriness of the things that usually cause suffering. It's this clear-eyed understanding that external things, just by their nature, they can't provide lasting peace.
So it's a kind of wisdom then.
Exactly. It's the wisdom that frees you up to look for peace where it actually can be found within.
Got it. Not cynical, but clear-sighted.
Precisely. And then the Bhagava offers even more specific mental cultivation practices, really targeted stuff.
Okay, like what?
He's told to avoid the sign of beauty associated with lust.
Avoid the sign of beauty. So consciously turn away from the initial trigger.
Yes. Disengage from those first visual or sensual hooks of desire.
And to counter that,
To counter that, he's told to develop your mind on the unbeautiful, concentrated, and well-composed.
develop the mind on the unbeautiful. That sounds like specific meditation, maybe.
It does refer to specific practices, things designed to challenge our usual, often superficial perceptions, maybe contemplating the less attractive aspects of things or their impermanence, cultivating a more realistic view that breaks the spell of lust or strong attachment.
Interesting.
And following that, he's instructed to develop the signless.
The signless, what does that mean?
That's a deeper meditation practice. The aim is to transcend all conceptual frameworks, all mental labels and constructs, moving towards a state of pure, unconditioned awareness, beyond signs and symbols.
Wow, okay, that sounds quite advanced.
It is a profound practice. And finally, all this advice sort of culminates in one critical instruction.
Who is?
Abandon the tendency to conceit.
Conceit. So humility.
It includes humility, but it's deeper than just not bragging. It's about dismantling the very idea of a separate, inflated self, letting go of that ego, that sense of self-importance, which is so often, right at the root of our suffering.
Right, the ego getting in the way.
Constantly.
Okay, so with all this guidance, external discipline, internal cultivation, specific meditations, abandoning conceit, what's the promised outcome? What happens if Rahula actually follows all this? What's the payoff, according to the text?
Well, the source states the result very explicitly, very clearly. It says, then by overcoming conceit, you will wander peacefully.
Wander peacefully.
That's the pinnacle, a state of deep, unshakable inner peace. And it's attained specifically by shedding that burden of ego, of conceit.
That's the ultimate goal, peace.
Yes.
And something else that's really important to highlight here is the repetition. The source explicitly says, the Bhagava frequently admonished Rahula with these exact verses.
Not just once.
Exactly. This wasn't some one-off lecture he gave his son. It was a consistent, repeated teaching, which really underscores how absolutely central this advice is to the path.
It suggests these aren't lessons you just learn once and you're done. They need constant reinforcement.
So let's bring this forward. What does all this mean for you listening today? I mean, this ancient advice, given so intimately from a father to his son, about ending suffering, seeking peace, living mindfully, it feels incredibly relevant right now, doesn't it?
It really does, especially in our world, which is just overflowing with distractions and, constant pulls on our attention.
Yeah.
And if we zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture, the core message. It isn't just about giving up physical things or literally leaving home.
Right, it's deeper than that.
Much deeper. It's about the mental liberation, the freedom that comes from non-attachment, and from that disciplined awareness, freedom from the internal stories, the desires that so often keep us trapped.
So a question maybe for you to think about. What sensual pleasures or attachments, maybe even really subtle ones, might you need to reevaluate in your own life? If the goal is cultivating a deeper sense of peace, like Rahula was guided to do.
A very pertinent question.
And maybe also reflecting on Rahula being frequently admonished. How often do we, too, need to revisit these fundamental truths? How often do we need to hear them again in our own lives to really let them sink in and integrate them?